Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Uh, well, just grounded in here, so I'll go ahead and maybe. Oh, how do I do that on the phone? How do I? Oh, that's a spot on my. Wow, it's like it's raining through the roof here. I'm not sure how I tag someone in on this on the phone. I just don't know. So anyway, I guess we're gonna have to rely on. Okay, good. It says invite friends. All right, I'm inviting people then. Great. Well, it's morning time here in Phoenix, and just want to encourage everyone out there. Do a little prayer here. I know everybody's in a space where we are dealing with these issues, right? These issues of this global pandemic they're calling coronavirus. And, there's a lot of uncertainty out there. There's people um, that are really blaming and thinking conspiracies and all this kind of stuff. And, I just have to ask myself, like, does it serve me to think those thoughts? Does it serve me to think about, those things that bring me more sort of anxiety or sort of pain than the thoughts that serve me? So, that's kind of the meter that I'm using right now. And yeah, just inviting a few more people here. Stay on. Invite friends if you can. The more that we come together, the better we will be. So, wow, I got a lot of friends on here, I guess. We're coming up. It lets me invite everybody, so. All right. I'm just going to invite a couple more here. Gosh, all these people that I haven't seen in so long are popping up here on the feed, and want to make sure that they're all a part of this. So maybe some of you know, maybe some of you don't, but for about 3.5 years, I was a pastor. I was a pastor at an Assemblies of God church, working in the inner city. I worked in Sunny Slope, which is a pretty intense kind of drug neighborhood, at least back in the day. Yeah, it's pretty bad over there now too. So, but yeah, that was the work that I did. Did it as a volunteer pastor with Adopt a Block and Bus Ministry, and then I started a group of recovery homes. We had 8 homes at one point, helping people that were homeless and addicted to drugs. And how I came to my walk with faith was through my encounter in prison. So I went to prison for 3.5 years for selling LSD and mushrooms. And there was a time in my life when I had dreadlocks down to the middle of my back, and I didn't have this beautiful smile, and was addicted to heroin and crack cocaine, and I was living a really, really challenging life. The trauma of my childhood kept re-emerging. I was born into an inheritance of trauma. My parents were both addicted to drugs. My mom died of a cocaine overdose. My father died of cirrhosis of the liver caused by hepatitis C. So I share this with you just to encourage you in your life, and in what you're doing with yourself. Not to take up all the time here for the prayer, but just to give you an understanding that, I'm not a great theologian. I'm not, the learning that I have is self-education and through ceremony. I grew up knowing I was Indian, but I didn't know what that meant. My grandfather basically told me I was Apache from behind a bottle of whiskey and a cigarette. So I didn't have all the ceremonial understandings that a lot of people that grow up in the traditional ways have, or grow up in church. I didn't grow up with any of that. So I really come into this world, come into this incarnation, this person that is here before you with a desire to learn these things and to practice these ways. And I've been practicing a life of prayer for quite some time. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to go ahead and pray. So I have the fire here. This is some sage I have burning. I really enjoy cedar, but I didn't get the cedar out. So I'm going to go ahead and bless myself here. So, having a fireplace is a good thing to have. Having a place where you can bless yourself, smudge yourself, and just go ahead and bless all of you out there too, Bless you in your life. So I pray in a way that is kind of non-denominational, non-religious. I don't like following any idea of one religion because I feel like all of them have truth. Instead, I'm going to pray in the best way that I know how. And if you're in agreement with that, I would encourage you to just find yourself in that place that allows for you to be a blessing and a vehicle of restoration here. So I'll go ahead and introduce myself here in the contemporary language and then also in the traditional, and then we'll start. I see that there's 6 people on here now, and that's good enough for me. So my name is Andrew Ecker, my mother Kathy Lindsay, my father Dale Ecker, my mother's mother Elva Gallegos, Apache woman from New Mexico, my father's mother Evelyn Beatty, an Irish woman from Pennsylvania, my mother's father Leroy Lindsay, Apache man from Arkansas, my father's father Wayne Ecker, German and Algonquin from Pennsylvania. I have a daughter, Bailey, a son, Peyton, a beautiful beloved fiancée, Monica. Dogate, Andrew Ecker, Yinishe, Adonne E, Nishinigi E, Ide Nishe, Irish Bashachin, Ide Dashache, German Jashanali, Akote Go E, Tashli E, Portland, Oregon, Inasha, Shama E, Kathy Lindsay Woye, Shaza E, Dale Ecker Wole. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this now and, bless yourselves. Just try to be in a place of agreement. So, Father, Mother, Creator, Source, I thank you for this opportunity to be in this prayer place that was founded before the creation of time. I thank you, Creator, for the above place, the below place, the inside place, the east, the south, the west, and north, and all the holy people that are there. I thank you, Creator, that even now as we pray into this infinite place of intelligence, that you have sent forth an assignment of ministering and warring angels to come upon the earth here and to declare the goodness of the will of the Most High, Creator God. I thank you that you have allowed for us to be in a place of love, compassion, and faith as we go into this time that of uncertainty, but yet the resting peace that surpasses all understanding is guarding the hearts and the minds of those who are called in accordance with your will, the will of faith, the will of love, the will of gratitude. And we receive all good things onto us. We receive the teachings of what this COVID has caused us to realize. We receive all of the different understandings that this pandemic has allowed us to understand. And we thank you, Creator God, that in this place that you have allowed us to go boldly into our faith. Go boldly into that place where we have realized that you are here with us and that you are the one who has sent forth the ministering and warring angels to set an encampment around us. We thank you for the Gahe, for the Kachinas, for the Yebache, for the holy angel light beings of this land, the land of the Autumn, Creator. We thank you for that you have made a way for us to connect to our ancestral medicine, to the roots of being in relationship with the air, the water, the fire, the earth, gravity, time, and spirit. We thank you that even right now you are ministering to the hearts and the minds of all of our relations here in the eternal circle of life. I thank you that you have created for us a vehicle of sacred geometry, that you have allowed for us to understand the circle of life and how it relates to us, and that inside of this circle of life that we can see our positioning as a reinforcement for community. We thank you that you have allowed for community to prevail, and that inside of this place of uncertainty, of financial insecurity, Creator God, that you have put the security of knowing that there are people that care, that there are people that love, there are people that do not want to isolate, but instead are reaching out in every way, utilizing technology to bring forth a great heart song upon the earth, a heart song of love and ministry. I thank you, Creator God, that you have allowed for us to be in that place of loving ourselves, and allowing us to be a reflection of the Holy Spirit that works in us, the Spirit of the Most High, Creator God, Jah. We thank you that you have been in this place, that you have blessed us like that you have allowed for us to sing a new song onto the earth, and that inside of this new song that you have loosened us from the captivity of our own mind, Creator. Loosen us from the captivity of addiction, loosened us from the captivity of insecurity, but instead you have restored our faith upon the earth, that you have removed all of these barriers, and that you have led us deep into the throne room of the Most High, Creator God, that we are sitting even right now at the feasting table, and that your plans are to prosper us exceedingly and abundantly above anything that we can ever hope or imagine, that you have spiritually restored us to that place of being your children, being those that would come before you and would allow for themselves to be like the tree planted by the stream of water, that we have found the source of life in every breath, that we have found the source of life in the feeling of security of knowing that we are connected to this earth, and that this earth altar, this place of meeting with you, is open to us, that the door is open for the restoration of our minds, our hearts, our bodies, our spirits. I thank you, Creator God, that you have moved upon the institutions of government, that you have allowed for the leadership of the government to be in a place of understanding that it is the very next move, it is the very next intention, it is the very next thought, it is the very next realization that would bring about a determination for what direction we are to go in a global manner. I thank you, Creator, that you have installed in their minds a great understanding of what it is to be in a place of revelation to the idea of production for the means of restoration, that we are called here to produce, to restore people, families, community, and the planet. And inside of this place of restoration, that we know that there is peace in the beauty of all living things, that we are a global community, and every living thing has a voice, every living thing has a right to live. We thank you for the air, the water, the fire, the earth. We thank you for the streams, for the rivers, for the lakes, for the ponds, for the oceans. We thank you for the clarity of understanding that there is a great will of movement upon the earth and upon the earthlings, that we are in a place of restoration of our great earth mother, and that even in these times that you have called us to be aware of that global consciousness, that even in these times we have been called to be aware of our placement upon this earth, because you have founded this before the creation of time itself, that you have made a way for us to be together in this way, that you have made a way for us to be restored in this way, that you have renewed our faith upon the earth, and that inside of our faith that you have loosened us from the captivity of our own mind, and instead you have given us sovereignty, Creator God, and that inside of that sovereignty we can utilize the energy of every emotion as it comes up. Every single thing as it flows through our body is a powerful density of revelation to be used to fortify the very power of love. And we thank you that even as we feel into the insecurity, even as we feel into the place of lack, the place of deep misunderstanding, Creator God, that inside of that place of fortified and created energy, that there is a place in which the release comes. And that even in the sorrow, even in the sadness, even in the pain and the loneliness, Creator, that you have made a way for us to utilize that energy as a fuel for the fire of love. And right now, upon every single mountaintop, upon every single valley, that the voice of the prophets, the voice of those who have been called in accordance with faith would ring out, and that this would be a great renewance of faith, a great revival, and that you would move in the institution of Islam, you would move in the institution of Christianity, that you would move in the institution of Buddhism and all the great religions upon the earth, the Jewish people, Creator God. Those institutions of religion would right now come together in a way that is powerful to form even a new way of thinking, a way that is beyond the limitations of our own divide. And instead that you would dissolve the divide, and that you would allow for us to be together as one people, a people that are called in accordance with the will of the Most High, Creator God. And that inside of this oneness that we would realize that the individual place, the cultural identity is important to the oneness, and that we would lean to a place of understanding that you can still have your voice, you can still have your song, you can still dance your dance, you can still be the beautiful vehicle that you have been called to be without the destruction. We pray that you would tear down the walls of separation from human beings in this place of understanding that this pandemic this whole movement of this virus has brought us to a place of understanding our interconnectedness, and that inside of our interconnectedness that we would learn to love one another again, that you would dissolve the barriers of racism right now, Creator God, that you would even come upon the hearts and the minds of the leadership of the racist institutions, the leadership of the genetically researched places, Creator God, all of those scientists and all of the people that perpetuate these thoughts of separation, that you would even bring their hearts to a place of great empathy, that you would open up their hearts to learning and understanding that the diversity is the beauty. We thank you that you have allowed for us to move into a place of great understanding, great reconciliation, great transformation, redemption from the slavery of our own insecurity, our own understanding, our own confines, our own captivity, Creator. I thank you that you are burning like a blue flame fire that comes upon the earth and cuts through the chains of captivity, that you are the one that has come to set us free, and that inside of this freedom that there is a great transformation of the way in which we think. I thank you for the renewing of our mind. I thank you for the renewing of our thoughts. I thank you that you have taken the thoughts captivity. You have taken those thoughts into captivity that no longer serve the optimal state of human design. I thank you for the children that are at home now, that the restoration of the family has been brought to a place of great understanding, that inside of these great home teachings, these home schools, Creator God, that you would even minister to the mothers and the fathers, and that you would give them patience for understanding that they are the ones that are responsible for their children, and that there is something more important to be learned in this time. I thank you for the closures of the schools. I thank you for the closures of the gyms. I thank you for the closures of every single institution that has brought us to a place of separation. I thank you for the closing of the retirement communities and the hospitals. I thank you that even in the closing of these institutional settings of human creativity, and even in these institutions of separation that have brought us to a place of understanding our great need for one another, that you will continue to bless us in this time of great hibernation, that you would even give us creativity, imagination, innovation, that when we go back to these places, when the stores and the schools open again and the gyms open again and the retirement communities and the hospitals open again, that there would be a great, powerful, resonating frequency of togetherness, that there would be even more powerful love, Creator God. I pray that in this time of isolation, that you would burn up the fire of destruction, that you would burn up the fire of intimidation, that you would burn up the fire of destruction upon the people, that you would allow for the peace that surpasses all understanding to guard our hearts and our minds, and that inside of that peace that we would see a great awakening, Creator God, and that even the soldiers, the instruments of warfare, Creator, would come to a place of recognizing that they are peaceful people, and that inside of this place of peace, that you would allow for the soldiers to put down their guns and to pick up drums and to dance and to sing songs with one another, that there would be a great global vision of peace and restoration upon the earth, and that inside of this global vision, that you would give us a direction, that you would even raise up those people that need to be in leadership, that we could step into a place of production for the means of restoration, that we could even have new living places, Creator, that we could have new places to live that are fully self-sustaining, that we would not be so reliant on the stores, that we would not be so reliant on this institutional setting of food and energy, that instead that we would have a new revival of understanding, that we can create housing structures, apartment buildings that could minister to our need for food, that could minister to our need for energy, that could minister to our need for togetherness, and that we would be growing in that direction. I pray that there would be a huge wave of sustainable living, sustainable restorative living environments that would come upon the people's mind and their intellect right now. I thank you that you have even allowed for that causality to come out of this. I thank you for the density of fear upon the earth, and that inside of the density of fear that there is the power of transformation. I thank you for the transformational energy of love. I thank you that as we go deeper into this place of fear, as we go deeper into this place of isolation, and even as quarantines are moving upon the earth right now, that Creator, that you would allow for us to use these instruments of technology to draw ourselves closer to one another, and that inside of this drawing and this inside of this family that you have created here online, that there would be a new resurgence of love inside of our hearts, and we thank you for that love. We thank you for the ability to be grateful in all things. And that we thank you that you have given us the ability to believe again, to have faith again, and to restore what it is to be called in accordance with the will of the Most High God. I thank you that you have made a way for us to have the peace that surpasses all understanding, that you have guarded our hearts from the conspiracy theories, from all of the different things that have come against your people, and you have restored peace, that there would be an even a wave of people speaking the truth in love, and that inside of the truth in love, that we would evaluate what it means to speak on social media, what it means to speak to these institutions and to these religious organizations and into all the different people that are in a place of leadership. I pray right now that there would be the word of love coming from their hearts, and that this situation, this circumstance, whatever is in the darkness would come to light, Creator, in a time frame that would bring us to a place of restoration rather than to a place of furthering the divide. I thank you that you have made a way for us to find the peace that surpasses all understanding, that it is moving inside of ourselves, even right now, as we release this word upon the earth, as we come into this revelatory place of great understanding, that we are a vehicle of restoration, that you have called us to restore our relationship with the air, the water, the fire, the earth, gravity, time, and the source, the great eternal I am, the Christ consciousness, Jesus Christ, Yahweh, Allah, Buddha, whatever it is, Creator God, that the people have called you because of their culture. I just pray that you, the one with infinite names, would be a resonant understanding. The one of many names would be a resonant understanding inside of all of our hearts. And we would look to you now in a way that is beyond the gender divide. That inside of that place that we would see our mother, we would see our father, and we would see the one who gives to us. Like a child, we come before you with the fascination and curiosity of what it means to be in relationship with the eternal, infinite intelligence. And we thank you for that. We thank you that inside of this great I am peace, that I am love, that I am gratitude, that I am joy. And I release joy upon the earth right now, knowing that you have brought joy to the people, that you have brought love to the people, that you have brought laughter to the people, that you have brought us to a place in which we can laugh and we can play and we can dance and we can sing a new song onto you. And we thank you for that. We thank you for the beauty inside of our hearts right now. Oh, asanita ma hone ane onka nesinito akashinita ma onda tiwakane. Benito okane toshikini patisinito ma anata urika tiesima konkashinita ma anatone kewa anataya onkasina benito kashinito maro onkanita amasinito wa benito onkani sororoma onkashini wa nata akona benito omanito na shinita amwakani to sikinitema onita anito rikeni Sinita mara dokoya nata maana o shikini chama nato nerero kunita nitishkinama. Oh, the wild places, the places in which the deer, the elk, the bear, the place in which the salmon swims, the place in which the bird and the eagle fly. These are the places of mine. These are the places of the holiness. As we are the husband of the land, as we are the nurturer of the land, as we step into the place of being the immune system for the earth, we are loosened from the captivity of our own devastation. In the place of restoration, we are in the great wisdom of the unfolding of these times in which you have been called forth from the very foundations of the creation of the earth, called forth to this time in which you are to be realized, which you are to be guided by love in all things. Let the power of the voice within you guide you to the place in which the blanket of security warms you, and the wings and the shelter of the Most High protect you, like a shield of faith to protect you from the arrows that fly by night, to silence the voice of the accuser, to bring you to a place of resonating with that which is infinite intelligence. May your restoration of your love song be evident in your family, in your community, and in the very nature that supports and sustains you. As the winds blow, so the security of knowing that you are that which is holy, that you are that which is beautiful, that you are that which is love. You are a child of that which is infinitely intelligence. And inside of that place, realize that the open hand of the child is met by that which is great, that which is lovely, that which is beautiful. The antlers of the deer felted to bring about a newness of beauty. The deer stands in the meadow, the sun against its back, the drops of rain gently falling on the leaves. It is a reminder of sacrifice. It is a reminder of the gentleness of this earth. The wild places are mine, thus saith the Lord. The wild places are mine, thus saith Mother Earth. The wild places are mine. Give unto her the wild places. Give unto the eternal creative force the wild places. And let us restore our wild nature within ourselves. Let us restore the wildness that brings us back to a place of husbandry of the earth. That we would be the nurturing immune system of this planet. That we would love the plants, that we would love the animals, that we would be in a great place of loving ourselves. As we are the reflection of the epitome of this planet, the evolutionary epitome, the very top of the food chain, we are brought to our knees by the wild places. For it is the wild places that reflect upon our need to be earthlings. We have hyper-focused on the place in which we have given our children the assignment of being something. What are you going to be when you grow up? The children are taught as if they're not enough. But let the children play in the dirt. Let them play in the sand. Let them plant the seeds of the destiny of a new life in which we restore, in which we produce to restore, in which we grow our own food, in which we live in beauty and comfort. For this is the plan of the Most High, for us to utilize technology in this time to bring us closer to that place in which we live in complete harmony. Blessings, everyone. Blessings. Beauty above, beauty below, beauty beside, beauty in front, beauty behind, beauty within. I am, we are made beautiful again. Love you.